Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about fertilizers. First of all, thank you everyone for giving us this opportunity. People started agriculture around 12,000 years back. They tried growing different plants that humans and animals could consume in order to survive. Agriculture takes time and effort. At that time, population is less compared to today's generation, but with increase in population day by day and the time to cultivate crops makes it difficult to provide food using the same land for all the population. Hence, fertilizers came into use. In this presentation, we are going to talk about the following topics: materials used in the manufacturing of fertilizers, how fertilizers are manufactured, all working principles behind it, how much cost to produce fertilizers or factors influencing it, social outcome of the fertilizers, how this product changed in time, what disadvantages exist in the current version of fertilizers, and what should be improved. So, what materials are used to manufacture fertilizers? To know this, first we need to know about what types of fertilizers are available to mankind today. There are two types of fertilizers available to mankind: organic fertilizers and inorganic or compound fertilizers. These inorganic and compound fertilizers are artificial fertilizers. Almost every fertilizer consists of three main nutrients: nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. These fertilizers are classified into three types as nitrate fertilizers, phosphorus fertilizers, potassium fertilizers. Nitrate fertilizers. These are the main types of fertilizers used globally. These fertilizers contain nitrogen and are used to produce ammonium nitrate, urea, etc. Phosphorus fertilizers are made from phosphorus by using phosphate. Potassium fertilizers are made from potash. These fertilizers also consist of other elements, but these would be the primary nutrients. How do you know which type of fertilizer it is? Well, all bags of fertilizers consist of a label with three numbers on it representing the primary nutrients. These represent nitrogen, phosphate, and potash respectively. For example, if there is a bag that says 10, 10, 10 on it, it means that 10% of that is nitrogen, 10% is phosphate, and another 10% is potash in the bag. Another example is a 4600, which means 46% of it is nitrogen. This fertilizer is also known as urea. So, how do you select the right fertilizer? To select the right fertilizer, soil should be tested for nutrients in it. By looking at the missing nutrients, they can recommend the type of fertilizer that should be used. Manufacturing principles behind fertilizers. Different fertilizers are manufactured using different principles and processes. If you look at the image below, we can see the methods to manufacture different types of fertilizers. For example, to manufacture nitrogen fertilizers, nitrogen in air is combined with natural gas to form ammonia, which can be used directly or can further be used to form nitric acid, or combined with nitric acid or carbon dioxide, which can in turn produce ammonium nitrate and urea. These two can also be combined together to form urea ammonium nitrate solution. Same way, the manufacture of phosphorus and potassium fertilizers are also explained in the image. There are many other processes to manufacture the nutrients of these fertilizers, such as Haber-Bosch process is used for ammonia production, the wet process and the thermal process is used for phosphoric acid production, Mannheim process is used for production of sulfate of potash, and etc. But the principle behind manufacturing different types of fertilizers is purifying and blending different chemicals in controlled temperatures and pressure levels to get the desired grade of the fertilizer needed.
Factors influencing the cost of production of these fertilizers. So how much cost will it be to manufacture a fertilizer in this modern day? The answer would be based on how many factors including but not limited to raw materials, operational costs of the plant, transportation, shipping, etc. Any disruption of these individual elements in these processes would likely make the fertilizer production costs go up. That means these fertilizers costly are highly volatile around the world. When compared to September 2020 prices, the nutrient prices have increased as follows, which is ammonia is up to 210%, liquid nitrogen goes up to 159%, urea which is 155%, MAP 125%, DAP 100%, and potash 134%. As the nutrients cost increased, the cost of production also went up. COVID pandemic is also one of the reasons behind this high increase in nutrient costs, which in turn increased the fertilizer prices. A crippled supply chain system because of the COVID is the reason. Here are the prices of some of the fertilizers per ton.
Social outcome of the fertilizers. Why the use of fertilizers started? When plants grow, the nutrients in the soil is absorbed by the plants, and when they die, they are returned to the soil again, replenishing the soil's nitrogen levels. The consumption of plants by humans and animals depletes the soil's nitrogen levels and breaks this cycle, which makes it unfertile to grow any more plants. To overcome this problem, fertilizers are invented. Fertilizers help mankind in a number of ways, such as increased yield, can protect from pests, help soil maintain its fertility, can use farming space efficiently, less soil erosion, multiple crops every year to support the hunger of increasing population, plants growth can be improved, and many more other ways.
How fertilizers changed from time to time. Before the commercially available fertilizers came into existence, manure or minerals were used to increase the fertility of land by Romans, Egyptians, Babylonians, etc. Manure is the combination of animal feces, usually livestock, and urine with traces of water and other organic elements left in a pit to decompose for days. This decomposed material is used as fertilizer. The image you see is manure made from horse feces.
Then came the artificial fertilizers. By combining calcium phosphate with sulfuric acid, John Bennett Laws produced superphosphate fertilizer in 1842. He then started Laws Chemical Company to produce this fertilizer commercially in 1843. Later, the Birkeland method became one of the most widely used industrial processes for producing nitrogen-based fertilizers. In 1910, the Haber-Bosch process was introduced, and by 1920, it had become the most efficient method for producing nitrogen-based fertilizers. Disadvantages of fertilizers. These fertilizers, as they are helping solve the global food problem, also has its disadvantages. When it comes to organic fertilizers, they require more time to decompose, so it takes more time to release nutrients into the soil, which can be used up by the plant. The ratios of NPK concentration is low, so they may be required to be mixed in combination with other products to produce complete fertilizer. The cost of the production is relatively high as compared to that of inorganic fertilizer. Production of fertilizer is dependent upon microorganisms and the weather conditions, so its production can be based upon seasonal condition and we cannot get the fertilizer throughout the year. Finally, they are expensive. Disadvantages of inorganic or mineral fertilizer. It does not contain organic matter to enhance aeration or moisture retention purpose. Don't have the capability to produce soil by the help of the soil organisms, example bacteria. Nutrients can easily get leached out, so it may require to be added on the regular basis. The overdose of the fertilizer can help in salt buildup process, and due to this overdose, these nutrients can enter in the water table, causing the groundwater pollution. Most of the fertilizer are volatilized and they can be lost in the air if water is not added to it.
In our opinion, fertilizers should be enhanced in a way that they cause less damage to the environment. Increase efficiency of the fertilizer. That means more yield using the same amount of fertilizers. ways to produce organic nitrogen instead of industrially synthesized nitrogen, limiting the use of nitrogen-based fertilizers, as the excess use of nitrogen-based fertilizers is the reason for contamination of water, soil, and air. Thank you. Any questions, please feel free to ask.